Good morning. I hope you're all doing well, and those of you on the East Coast, good afternoon. Thank you for joining me today. I really want to give a heartfelt welcome to all of the moms who've been practicing with me on Thursday mornings in our circle in Palo Alto. I miss seeing you in person, but I'm really glad we can practice this way together. And I also want to give a warm welcome to my friends who are joining me this morning. I miss seeing you in person, and I'm glad we can be together this way. And also a really heartfelt embrace to those of you who don't know me. My name is Jacqueline Long, and I'm a yoga teacher and a mindful facilitator, a mindfulness teacher, and a marriage and family therapist. And I'm so glad that you're visiting with me this morning, and I hope you find something nourishing and supportive as we move through this time together, collectively. So the theme of our practice this morning will be mindful self-compassion. And this is an evidence-based, well-researched practice, really distilled by Krista Neff in her book on self-compassion. And we'll also be weaving in the practice of rain from Tara Brach's work in mindfulness, and many others have talked about this beautiful practice that's an acronym for practicing mindfulness with difficult feelings or sensations. And during this time of this global pandemic, one of the most challenging experiences we're all feeling together is waves of fear and anxiety. And I've talked to a lot of people who are feeling panic, either in the morning when they wake up or when they go to bed, or many times throughout the day sprinkled in. And the wonderful thing to know is that there are ways to cope with these very overwhelming waves of feeling that come through us. It's very helpful to have practices that can nurture and support us through these unpleasant experiences. So the practice of RAIN is an acronym for R, recognize, A, allow, I, inquire, N, nurture. So the R of RAIN, when we recognize, we can just recognize there's a wave of anxiety or panic that's moving through. And the A, allow, I can allow this wave of anxiety or panic or fear or worry or concern to move through me. I can welcome it in. I can acknowledge it. And I can inquire about this. And this kind of inquiry isn't a detective work of where did it come from and why am I feeling this way? That's not the spirit with which we inquire in this mindfulness practice. So when we inquire in this way, it's a gentle curiosity. It's a compassionate curiosity with lots of spaciousness around it. And we're just often inquiring where we feel this in our bodies. So if it's an emotion, where do I feel this in my body right now? Or if it's a sensation that we're feeling, some of us kind of somaticize our feelings and we feel unpleasant sensations throughout our bodies when stressful things are occurring. And so we can gently inquire, where is this sensation, and is it localized somewhere? Is it spread out, or is it very focused? Is it deep inside or on the surface? Just wondering with compassionate curiosity about it. And then N of RAIN is to nurture with self-compassion. And this is where we open the doorway to another practice of self-compassion, which has 3 doorways itself. So the 3 doorways of self-compassion are to first acknowledge mindfully, non-judgmentally, what's happening. So it's kind of like the R of RAIN once again. It's helpful to repeat that a couple of times. So the first doorway of self-compassion is to non-judgmentally state what's happening. I'm having a wave of anxiety. And so we let go of the storyline about it. And it's so bad, and I'm always anxious, and I'll never be fine. Something's wrong with me. So that's all storyline that we just practice teasing out of the bare recognition that there's a wave of anxiety moving through. And then the second doorway of self-compassion is to offer self-kindness. So we can put our hands to our bodies or a hand to the heart. Because we're social mammals, we respond to warmth and closeness and touch. That's why social distancing is actually really hard for us as a species. So as social mammals, we respond to warmth and touch, so we can touch our hearts or touch a cheek or touch our hand or embrace ourselves. And then we can practice offering ourselves some term of endearment like, oh, sweetie, or my love. Or if that's too provocative for you, you might say something like, dear Jackie, or dear one, or my friend, or just your name if all of that doesn't work for you. Instead of wrestling with it, just say your name, like Jackie. And then speak to yourself in a kind way, in a kind tone, like you'd speak to a friend. So, dear Jackie, it makes so much sense that you're feeling this way. It's really hard right now to be doing these 3 roles of working from home and trying to homeschool your son and serve other people and be a good parent at the same time, to be a teacher and to your son, a parent to your son, and to keep serving others. It's so hard and there's so much going on. So that's the second doorway of self-compassion, which is self-kindness. And these aren't linear. They can be mixed up, these doorways. This is just the way I like to proceed through them. And then the third doorway of self-compassion is the recognition of common humanity. And this is when we acknowledge very explicitly to ourselves that we're not alone, that we're not the only ones going through this. So it could sound like, and sweetie, you're not alone. There's millions and millions of people around the world right now feeling waves of anxiety and concern about the welfare of others, about the state of our country. You're not alone. So this is what we'll be exploring today in an embodied way. First, I'll lead you through a meditation of rain, of this practice. So it's not just thinking about it, but we'll actually do this together. And then we'll start moving our bodies very gently, so it becomes a meditation in motion. We're not going to be exercising. I don't consider this exercise, so feel free to go for a brisk walk today also, or later on, or another day, have something more physically active and cardio. This is more mindfulness meditation in motion during the yoga practice, where we get more in touch with ourselves and really cultivate this practice of self-care and self-compassion. And if you have time at the end, I'll lead you through a relaxation practice and maybe a little song. So taking a moment to begin to close the eyes, or just cast the eyes downward slightly and tune in. And as you journey inward, see if you might bring with you a spirit of care and kindness, compassionate curiosity. And just take a moment to recognize the R of rain. Recognize what's there for you now that's needing your attention. And just state what it is with as little storyline as possible. Because so many of us are feeling some fear right now, I'll use that as my example, but stay true to what's there for you. So just recognize there's fear here. And then A, allow. Allow the fear to be there. It's as though you're welcoming a friend into your home. It's just a friend with a message, just allowing this friend of fear to be there. I is to inquire. Where do I feel this fear in my body? Oh, I'm noticing a little clenched tightness in the upper area of my abdomen, and a little heat in my upper arms and heart. So just notice where you feel this fear in your body. Where do I feel this in my body? And then just name that just sensations. These are just sensations that go along with this emotion, which is just an emotion. And then N, nurture. So the 3 doorways of self-compassion. We're going to nurture with self-compassion. So first doorway is to again acknowledge there's some fear here. The second doorway is self-kindness, putting our hands on our arms or hand to the heart, speaking with a term of endearment to yourself. Oh, sweetie, it makes so much sense that you're feeling waves of fear. You're stepping into new territory that you've never stepped into before. I'm right here with you. So those are my words that you can kind of riff off of for yourself. So see if you might tune in and think about what you'd say to a friend in the same position and say that to yourself. And then just notice how it feels to receive those messages from yourself. And remind yourself that you're not alone, that there's millions and millions of people feeling waves of fear right now. So see if you can say that to yourself directly inside, in silence, and notice how that feels to receive this recognition of common humanity. Beautiful. Good. So when you're ready, you can begin to deepen the breath and maybe keep the right hand on the chest and bring left hand to belly or vice versa. We're just going to begin to deepen the breath. So take a nice deep breath in and allow for a long, slow exhalation, maybe even lengthening the exhale so it's twice as long as the in-breath. Deep breath in. And allow for a long, slow, controlled exhalation. And a few more breaths like this. Just nurturing yourself with these deep 3-part breaths. On the inhale, expanding belly, rib cage, collarbones rise. And on the exhale, collarbones lower, chest lowers, belly deflates. That's it. A couple more breaths. And also just feeling the capacity of the lungs. Thanking the lungs for their good work for us, breathing us so easily, giving us breath. Good, and after the next long, slow exhalation, you can return the breath back to normal. And unite the palms together in front of the heart, or you can place both hands on the heart if you prefer. And close the eyes, cast the eyes downward slightly. And just take a moment to bow the head humbly down to the openness of the heart. And take a moment to acknowledge and to celebrate that radiant spark of life and light that rests deep, deep within you. See that light within you and bow to it. And take a moment to acknowledge and to celebrate that divine spark of life and light within your children, if you have them, or in other children you know, nieces or nephews or neighbors. See that light within these children and bow to it. And take a moment to acknowledge and to celebrate the light within all of the people who are gathered here, practicing with us together right now in this moment, on this Facebook Live event. See the light within all of these people who are practicing with you right now and feel buoyed by that support and light and presence together. And take a moment to acknowledge and to celebrate that radiant light within all beings everywhere, without exception, no matter how clouded in darkness or ignorance or despair, trusting and knowing that that light is still there within. Yes. And then you can bring the head back to center. And we'll shift into our yoga practice. I'm going to shift onto my yoga mat. Feeling free to sit on the heels and rotate the palms up for an external rotation of the shoulders. Rotating the palms up, bend the elbows slightly out to the sides, bringing the arms out to the sides, squeezing the shoulder blades towards each other. Rock the hips forward towards the thighs and lift the chest up. So we're going to lift up and out of the low back a little bit to protect the low back. And then opening the heart to the spaciousness of the sky and allowing the spaciousness of sky to be a reflection of the openness of our hearts. And just take a few deep breaths and just imagine the rain of self-compassion shining down on us, showering down on us as we open our hearts to the rain of self-compassion more fully. Recognize, allow, inquire, and nurture. Take a deep breath in, opening our hearts to this practice of rain. Yes, and then exhale, round the back, tuck the chin, interlock the thumbs, and dive the arms forward. Diving into this internal capacity, this inherent capacity for self-compassion, this presence with ourselves, this capacity to be present with ourselves through challenging moments, emotions, and sensations. Good, so rotate the palms up, bend the elbows out to the sides, squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other, arching the back and spine. Take a few deep breaths in, opening to this practice of rain, the rain of self-compassion. And exhale, dive the arms forward, diving into this inherent capacity for compassion for the self. Inhale, rising open to the practice of rain. Yes, and exhale, diving into the compassionate presence within you. Inhale, arching open to the practice of rain. And exhale, diving into the spacious, compassionate presence within you already. Good, and a few more rounds at your own pace. And feel free to modify. You can bend the elbows out and up a little bit more as you come forward to open the wings of the shoulder blades more fully. You could also experiment with interlacing the fingers back behind you if you want a little bit of a deeper back bend. Just cultivating this compassionate presence through movement and breath, through breath with movement. Yes, great. And after the next full round, you can pause. And then you can bring the hands onto the earth. Pardon me. And then we're going to bring the left arm out to the side. So hands first start underneath the shoulders, knees under the hips. And then we're going to bring the left arm out to the side and up. And you can either mirror image me or follow my instructions with the words for left arm. So we're rotating the left arm up, giving a little nice twist to the spine. And we're going to open our arms and our hearts to this rain of self-compassion. Take a nice deep breath in, and then exhale, lower the left arm down, and we're going to slide the back of the left hand onto the floor in between the right hand and knee, sliding the arm through, kind of threading a needle through the right hand and right knee, lowering the left shoulder down towards the floor for a nice stretch to the back, upper back, left shoulder blade. And we're just going to bow down to the compassion that's there within you already. So gently unwind, keep right hand down. We're going to keep the left arm in movement. So inhale here, opening to the rain of self-compassion. And exhale, slide the left arm through, bowing down to the compassion within you already. Inhale, rising open, opening to the rain of self-compassion as a practice. And then exhale, slide the left arm through, bowing down to the compassion within you already. And continue at your own slow breathing pace. That's it. A few more rounds. Good. And after the next full round, you can gently come back to center. Yes, and then you can bring the right arm out to the side and up, opening to the rain of self-compassion. Recognize, allow, inquire, and nurture with self-compassion. Take a nice deep breath in here, and then exhale, bring the back of the right hand to the floor in between the left hand and knee, and slide the right arm through. And you can experiment with pressing the back of the right shoulder down to the floor and pressing the back of the right hand into the earth a little bit more. Sometimes that will deepen the stretch. Good. With the breath, inhale, right arm out to the sides and up. And exhale, right arm through. Inhale, right arm out to the side and up, opening to the rain of self-compassion as a practice. And exhale, slide the arm through, bowing down to the self-compassion that's within you already. And continue at your own pace. Beautiful. And if what you're feeling in the moment isn't self-compassion, that's perfectly fine. One of my mentors often said, what's in the way is the way. So whatever's there instead of self-compassion, just turn towards and be with that. Good. After the next full round, you can pause. Yes. And lower the buttocks towards the heels, forehead towards the earth, and bow the head down. Just taking a moment to pause and tune in. If the forehead can lower down to the floor, that's helpful. Otherwise, you might want to stack the fists and rest the forehead on the fists so the neck can rest fully and deeply. Good. And take a nice deep breath in. Feel the belly expand along the thighs. And exhale, gently release through the low back. Release the belly deeply. Good. And then we'll extend the arms forward. Shift the weight into the hands coming up onto all fours. Curl the toes under. Lift the hips up high. For downward dog, it's like an upside down V shape. And then we're just going to walk the feet forward. Walking the feet forward towards the hands, bend the knees, and just roll the back up, vertebra by vertebra, part by part. Inhale the shoulders forward and up, and exhale the shoulders back and down. Lovely. So standing tall, drawing some of the energy that tends to swirl around the head with all of the thinking and planning and worrying we do. Seeing if you can draw some of the energy down into the body, down into the legs, down into the feet. Yes, and feel the feet connecting with the earth that holds us so easily, no matter what we're thinking or feeling or moving through in our lives. Feeling that wealth of support and ease of holding us, and ground into that. And from that grounded, spacious place, you can lengthen through the legs, lengthen through the spine, feel the shoulders moving back and down, chest and heart opening to the day more fully, and to all that's there within you. And unite the palms together in front of the heart, greeting what's within us with kindness and care, compassion and curiosity. From here, we'll bring the arms out to the sides and up, lifting the arms up and either staying vertical or you might arch back slightly. It can be helpful to lean into the toes. The pelvis comes forward slightly and we lift up and out of the low back. And then the chest rises. And then just take a few moments here to open to the R of rain. Recognize. Recognize any unpleasant emotion or experience that you've been moving through in your life recently. Just recognize. So this first round we'll just practice with recognizing fear. So I recognize there's a wave of fear that's here around this whole pandemic. Take a nice deep breath in as you recognize non-judgmentally, and exhale, bow down. Feel free to bend the knees so it's a humble forward bend. We're not trying to get anywhere or accomplish anything. Instead, we're staying in loving relationship with our bodies. It doesn't matter how far the hands come down. It doesn't matter if they touch the earth. Instead, focus on the sensations that are there and allow those sensations to be just as they are right now.
allowing the sensations in the low back, allowing the sensations in the hamstrings and behind the knees, allowing any sensations that are there that go along with this pose. Allow the fear to be there, welcoming the fear in like you're a host to a party. Welcome. Welcome, friend. I know you have a message for me. Welcome. And from here, you can bend the knees, fingertips in line with the toes, step the left foot far back, left knee raised for a more active position, or you can lower the left knee down for a more gentle stretch, your choice. I'll try to modify and use the more gentle position because we have grandparents practicing with us, we have people very new to yoga practicing with us, and I always love to give permission for a more gentle practice. So if you want something more active, please lift your knee up. But because this is a mindfulness-based gentle yoga practice, I'll be modifying the gentler pose. So from here, as we lift the chest up and open the hearts more fully and deeply, we'll open to the eye of rain. I inquire, where do I feel this fear in my body? So scanning the body, where do I feel this now? And allowing those sensations to be there just as they are. Take a nice deep breath into those sensations. And exhale, right foot back, downward dog, with the hips up high, which is a modified position. Or a plank position, the shoulders are above the wrists, we engage the belly, make sure the hips don't sag, so we're lifting the hips up just slightly. This is a more active pose, so if that's too hard, just lower the knees down and you can be on all fours. Or you can move back to downward facing dog, the upside down V shape. So see what feels best for your body today. Stay attuned, stay in loving relationship with the body instead of demanding it to do certain positions. See what feels best for you and your body today. Beautiful way to practice self-care and self-compassion. Honor the body above the ego when you're on the mat, whenever possible. So from here, we'll bow down to the N of rain, which is to nurture. Nurture with self-compassion. And just say to yourself something you'd say to a good friend. Oh, sweetie, I know it's been hard. There's been so much change so quickly. And then remember to acknowledge common humanity. You're not alone, sweetie. There's millions of people around the world feeling the exact same way right now. So from here, come forward. You can do this by lowering the knees down. The traditional pose here is Ashtanga Pranam. We're going to bend the elbows, lower the chest between the thumbs, chin to the floor. This is very challenging, so if it's too hard, to just inch the belly forward and come up from there. Another way to come forward is what I call slithering forward. It's a modification, so from downward dog or all fours, you can lower the knees down and then just melt the thighs forward, melt the low belly down, melt the lower ribs down. So either way you want to come through, feel free. And some of you have a more active practice of chaturanga, so you can do that instead. I won't demonstrate that. So squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other, lift the back of the head up, press the hands down isometrically and back towards the mat behind you, and open up to the R of rain once again. So just recognizing, there's some fear moving through right now. Just very simply, very gently, there's just some emotion right now. There's just some fear. It's just a feeling. Take a nice deep breath in as we recognize the fear. And exhale, press the hands down, lift the hips up high, downward facing dog. Once again, moving through rain. So we recognized, now we go to the A of rain. See if you can remember what the A of rain is. The A of rain is allow. Allow the fear to be there. When we try to stop the fear and try to make it go away or make it something other than it is, we actually create a dam and it builds up tension. And trauma therapist Peter Levine says, what is not felt either remains unchanged or gains an inward pressure. So What helps is to allow the fear to move through us. And if we do so, if we can allow it to, it can move through and be processed more quickly. And ultimately, we can let it go. So look between the hands, step the left foot forward between the hands, right knee raised or lowered down, lifting the head, neck, and chest. Please be gentle with yourself if you needed to come out of downward dog a little bit sooner than I did. It's really wonderful practice. It means you're listening to your body, so thank you. So lifting the head, neck, and chest, opening through the heart. And then the eye of rain. See if you can recall what the eye of rain stands for. We did recognize, allow, and now I inquire. Where am I feeling this in my body? Where is this fear now? Is it in the same place? Is it in a different place? Is it traveling around my body? Or does it stay kind of in the upper abdomen for me? Maybe somewhere else for you. And just gently brush that area of the body with awareness. Here you are. You're right here. I'm going to be right here with you. This is where the sensation is that goes along with the emotion. It's just a sensation. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale, step the back foot forward to meet the front foot, bow the head down, bend the knees for a humble forward bend so we're not over straining the low back, especially if you have tight hamstrings. Please bend the knees humbly. And bow down to the N of rain. See if you can recall what the N of rain stands for. N is for nurture. Nurture with self-compassion. Yes, there's some fear here. And oh, sweetie, I know it's been hard. There's been so much shocking news and so much change so quickly and so many demands placed on you. You're not alone. There's so many people around the world right now going through the same thing. We're in this together. We're in this together. Well, from here, we'll extend the arms forward, lengthening through the low back, lifting the arms up, arching back, and then just open up to the practice of rain as a practice. Opening up to this practice of self-compassion and the inherent compassionate presence within you. Opening up to yourself as a compassionate being. Take a nice deep breath into that inherent compassion within you. Yes. And exhale, unite the palms and slide the hands down to the level of the heart. Beautiful. So now we're going to practice with the breath a little bit more fluidly. And I'll just move through the acronym RAIN as we move through each movement of the sun salutations. And the sun salutations is like a poem. There's many different interpretations of this poem. So this is just one interpretation. If you have a different way you like to move through this poem of the sun salutations, feel free to use that instead. So exhale fully. Inhale the arms out to the sides and up, opening to the R. Recognize what's there. Exhale, bow down. Allow it to be as it is. Inhale, right foot back. I inquire. Where is this in my body? Exhale, left foot back and nurture with self-compassion. Inhale, come forward and up to the R of rain. I recognize that this is what's happening. Exhale, downward facing dog, bowing down, and allow it to be there. Inhale, right foot forward, inquire, where is this in my body? Exhale, left foot forward, nurture with self-compassion. Inhale, arms out to the sides and up, opening to the rain of self-compassion, and exhale, palms to the heart. Inhale the arms out to the sides and up. R, recognize what's there. Exhale, bow down. Allow it to be as it is. Inhale, left foot back. I inquire. Where is this in my body? Exhale, right foot back. Downward dog or plank. And nurture. Inhale, come forward and up. R, once again, recognizing. Exhale, bow down. Downward dog. A, allow it to be as it is. Inhale, left foot forward. Inquire, where is this in my body? Exhale, right foot forward, bow down. Nurture with self-compassion.
Inhale, arms out to the sides and all the way up, opening to the rain of self-compassion. And exhale, palms to the heart. Inhale, arms out to the sides and up. R, recognize what's there. Exhale, bow down. A, allow it to be just as it is. Inhale, left foot back. I, inquire, where do I feel this in my body? Exhale, right foot back.
And nurture with self-compassion.
Inhale, come forward and up. Once again, R, recognize what's there just as it is.
Exhale, bow down. Allow it to be. A.
Inhale, left foot forward. Inquire, where is this in my body? Exhale, right foot forward. Nurture with self-compassion. Inhale, arms out to the sides and all the way up, opening to the practice of rain. And exhale, palms to the heart. And just pause here, noticing, acknowledging, maybe even closing the eyes and taking a moment to be present for the warmth of body, the pace of breath, and the beating of your own heart, reminding you about its aliveness. Yes. Good, and then from here we'll open the eyes and bring the hands to the hips to start off with. And we'll step the right foot back about 2 to 3 feet. And then walk the left foot out to the left a little bit so we have the feet kind of on railroad tracks. The right foot is pointing out to the right at a slight angle, at about a 45-degree angle. And the hips are forward towards the front of the mat. And then we're going to bend the left knee, so the left knee is over the left ankle. There's a tendency for the knee to collapse inward, so we're going to spiral the left thigh outward towards the left, so you can see your left big toe. And you also can spiral the right thigh outward, so the thighs are spiraling outward. And there's a tendency, especially I have this tendency, to overarch the low back, so we want to engage the abdominal muscles and draw the lower ribs down to have a nice firm foundation here. And from here, we can bring the hands in front of the heart and begin to extend the arms forward and up as we embody the warrior pose. Jack Kornfield writes, spiritual life requires a strength, but the strength isn't in the body, it's in the heart. To face our lives directly, to face our pains and limitations, our joys and possibilities, we truly need a warrior's heart to not run from our lives. So just take a few moments in warrior and feel that courage to turn towards instead of run away from what's here, what you're facing in your life right now. Take a nice deep breath into this warrior courage within you. And exhale, you can lower the arms down. And we're going to carry the back foot forward. So to do so, we first want to bend the left knee once again. Carry the back foot forward. Keep both knees bent. And we're going to practice in chair pose. We're going to practice eagle arms. So eagle in flight. So bring the arms out to the sides and up. And then lower them down and deepen the chair pose. So your knees are above your big toes. Your buttocks is pressing back and down. We're going to lead with the elbows. So inhale, elbows up, and then hands follow and lift up a little bit in chair pose. And exhale, elbows down and hands follow. So taking a few deep breaths. Inhale, rising with the arms and legs a little bit. Exhale, falling with the arms and legs a little bit. And continue. And I love this. You can even imagine that we're a dove in flight. As we move with the breath, inhaling up and exhaling down. And I love this imagery because in the mindfulness practice, we talk about the two wings of the dove of mindfulness quite a bit. So you can imagine on one wing, there's the wing of clear seeing, clear knowing, and awareness. And on the other wing is the compassion. So rain is the practice of recognizing what's there with compassionate presence. Good. After the next full round, you can pause. Release the arms down. Shake everything out. And we're going to inhale, shoulders forward and up. And exhale, shoulders back and down. Good. Again, inhale, shoulders forward and up. Exhale, back and down. And one more time. Inhale, shoulders forward and up. And exhale, back and down. Beautiful. Yes. So now we'll step the left foot back about 2 to 3 feet. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less, depending on your preference and how it feels for you. Walk the right foot out to the side a few inches. Feet are on railroad tracks. Left foot is pointing forward at about a 45-degree angle. Hips are forward. Bend the right knee, spiral both thighs outward. Make sure you can see your right big toe. Draw the lower ribs down and in. Engage the abdominal muscles. Grounding and rooting. You can draw the perineum up and in. And then bring the hands together in front of the heart, and from here, extend the arms forward and up. So the practice of compassion, and in particular self-compassion, is a way that we can strengthen this inner warrior that has the courage to turn towards instead of run away from our lives. And I love these words by Tara Brach that can help kind of awaken that inner warrior that has so much courage to face life. She says, "May this experience be an opportunity to deepen compassion. May this challenging experience be an opportunity to deepen compassion for myself, to deepen compassion for others. We're all in this together. So may this experience be an opportunity to deepen compassion." And that's what we're practicing here today. So take a nice deep breath in and exhale fully. Release the arms down, straighten the legs just to get a little release. And this time when we bring the left leg through, I'm going to give you an option to do chair pose or eagle pose with the legs, and I'll describe what that is. So bend your right knee, keep the right knee bent, bring the left foot forward and either place it next to the right foot, or you can lift the left thigh around the right thigh, wrap it around, and either dangle the left foot in the air or place the left foot down, or you can wrap the left foot around the right shin calf. Please don't struggle with this. If it's not working for you, just do chair pose again. Otherwise, wrap the leg and then eagle arms. Eagle in flight. Good. So inhale, rising, leading with the elbows. Exhale, falling, leading with the elbows. And you can just name rising, falling, rising, falling. Good. Continue for a few rounds, embodying the dove, the 2 wings of the dove of self-compassion. Mindfulness, the 2 wings of the dove of mindfulness, clear seeing and compassion. Good. And if you wobble, it's perfectly fine. Balance is not a static process. It's a dynamic process. We move into balance, we fall out of balance, and we move into balance again. Kind of like tuning a guitar. We never stay fully tuned. We tune, we come out of tune, and we retune again. Good. After the next movement, you can release the left foot down, shake everything out. Good. And just tune in, notice what's there. Recognize what's there. Allow it to be as it is. Inquire, where am I feeling this in my body right now? And then nurture with self-compassion what you'd say to a dear friend. Maybe there was a little wobbliness, so maybe acknowledging, oh, sweetie, it's okay to be a little wobbly in your pose. You're not alone. A lot of the people practicing right now had wobbly moments too. Good. And gently release the arms. We'll inhale, shoulders forward and up. Exhale, shoulders back and down. Inhale, shoulders forward and up. Exhale, shoulders back and down. Inhale, shoulders forward and up. Exhale, shoulders back and down. Beautiful. Yes. And it's just so we have balance between the right and left leg. We did eagle pose legs on the right side. Now we'll do eagle pose legs with the left leg balancing. So again, if you just want to do chair pose, you can do chair pose with both feet firmly grounded, especially if you're protecting anything in your back. You might want to just stay steady. You can also use the wall for support, going next to a wall, putting your hands on the wall, and then playing with taking your fingers off the wall and putting them back on. Otherwise, ground into the left foot, lift the right leg up and wrap it around the left. Right foot could dangle, it could lower to the floor for stability, or it could wrap around the left calf. 2 wings of the dove of mindfulness, the clear seeing mixed with compassion. Inhale, rising. Exhale, falling. Inhale, rising. Exhale, falling. And continue and see if you might name rising and falling as you move and breathe, matching the words to the movement as precisely as possible. Beautiful. After the next full round, you can pause and gently unwind the feet. And just taking a moment to tune in, notice what's there. R, recognize what's there within you. A, allow it to be as it is. I, inquire, where am I feeling this in my body? And nurture with some self-kindness and recognition of common humanity. Good. And gently release the arms, softly open the eyes. And so even as we're opening to our own fears and our own unpleasant sensations, it's always helpful, just like we practiced last week, it's always helpful to release what's not ours. So we can be very present for the fear that's within us, but sometimes we take on cultural fear, we take on other people's fears and anxieties. So it's helpful to have a practice to wash that away, to let go of what's not ours. So we call those kind of burdens that we carry, the burdens of other people's fears or burdens of cultural beliefs and cultural fears. So we're going to cleanse that with Kriya Yoga, a cleansing breath practice. You can step the feet about mat width apart. We'll move back a little bit here. And we're going to bring the arms out to the sides and up. And when the arms are up, we'll breathe in through the nose, and on the exhalation, we're going to open the mouth, constrict the throat slightly, and exhale. And when we do that, we're going to bend the knees, we're going to hinge forward from the hips, melt the belly between the thighs. Lowering the arms down, cross the arms, bow the head, and let the whole back and upper body hang heavy towards the floor. And the legs are supporting, and the rest of it is like a waterfall. The legs is like the rock, and the back and the upper body and the neck and arms is like the waterfall just pouring over the rock. Okay, so that's the 2 positions, and we'll weave in the breath now. So inhale the arms out to the sides and up. Good. Open the mouth, constrict the throat slightly. Bend the knees, hinge forward from the hips, cross the arms, bow the head as you exhale all the way down. Inhale, arms out to the sides and all the way up. Opening to your inherent compassion and cleansing, washing free. Good. Inhale, rising, open to your inherent spaciousness. Yes. And washing away any anxiety or fear that isn't yours. Good. Inhale, rising, open to embrace all that's there within you so easily. And cleansing, washing free any fear that isn't yours. Inhale, rising, open to the inherent spaciousness and compassion. And exhale, releasing any fear that's not yours. And one more deep breath in. Rising, open, unite the palms and slide the hands down to level of the heart, closing the eyes. Tuning in. And from this clear place of compassion with yourself, and you've released what's not yours, now we can be in relationship. Now that we haven't taken on the anxiety of others or fear of others, we can be in relationship with the fear that's out there from this place of compassion in here. So the self-compassion breeds other compassion. Feel that. And we can be kind and caring towards ourselves and shed what's not ours, so we're not taking on other people's burdens or cultural burdens. We can extend so easily this compassionate presence outward and just let it radiate outward in all directions. And starting with ourselves, a loving wish here. May I be well. May I experience ease today. May I feel safe, loved, and connected. Yes. And then you can bring the hands out in front, cupping the hands out in front, offering this loving wish to all of the people who are practicing with us together and all of their children who might be practicing with Danielle right now through Zoom. For all of these people practicing together right now, may you be well. May you experience ease today. May you feel safe, loved, and connected. And then we're going to come down onto our knees with our buttocks away from the heels. We'll curl the toes under and we'll spread our arms wide open. And we're going to lift up through the chest and heart. And then from here, we're going to bring our hands onto the low back, palms on the back with fingertips down. Press the hips forward, lifting head, neck, and chest. Ustrasana, camel pose. If you have a lot of flexibility, you can lower the hands onto the heels, curling the toes under and hands onto the heels. Otherwise, just stay here like I am with hands on your back for support. Then open this heart of yours, this spacious heart of yours, to all beings everywhere. And to all people, sending this message of loving kindness out from your heart, from this place of compassionate care. May all beings be well. May all beings experience ease today. May all beings feel safe, loved, and connected. Yes, and take a nice deep breath into this spacious heart of yours and this back bend, this heart-opening pose, and exhale fully. Good. And then just lower the hands onto the floor out in front. You can do some cat-cow. Inhale, lifting head, neck, and chest. Exhale, rounding the back. And continue just a few rounds just to work through any tension in the spine, nurturing ourselves with this gentle rhythmic movement. Yes, and then you can lower buttocks towards heel, forehead towards the earth, and just pause here, feeling free to make fists and rest the forehead on the fists if you need that support from the head. And just feeling ourselves a child of the earth here in child's pose. Recognizing how much Mother Earth supports us and holds us and provides for us. And feeling our connection to all of the other millions and billions of people around the world going through similar experiences as us right now. Held by the same planet Earth. A child of this earth, take a nice deep breath in. Yes, and slowly exhale. Beautiful, and gently lift the torso up. And bring the legs out in front. And we'll move into a yin pose, Tarasana star pose. So instead of having the heels close to the groin, we're going to have the feet about 2 feet away from the groin. And the knees spread apart, heels touching. And we're just going to melt forward. You can place the hands on the floor. You can place the hands on the feet. If you have a bolster, you can put the bolster out in front and rest your forehead on the bolster. There's nowhere to get to, nothing to accomplish. Just see where gravity draws you down. There's no extra points for being closer to the feet with your head. Wherever the body relaxes into, just practice there. And as we remain in this pose, interesting sensations will arise, either in the hips, the outer hips, typically, or the low back. And see if you might just stay curious as we practice rain together here. Because our bodies during periods of stress do tend to somaticize if we're afraid to feel our feelings. And a lot of us, for various reasons, have a very difficult time being with our feelings and feeling our feelings. So the body and psyche could even decide for us that it's more threatening to feel this emotion. So instead, the psyche is going to give us some interesting sensations in the body to distract us from that emotion. And it's helpful to be able to just name and be with those sensations through the practice of rain. So we were practicing with unpleasant emotion before. Now we can practice with unpleasant sensation. So recognize, I'm recognizing that I have this interesting lump in my tongue now that popped up when I started getting stressed out about all of this. Or cramping in my tummy, or migraines came on. So whatever it is, I'm recognizing that this is where the sensation is. And I'm recognizing that it's just a sensation. It's just an unpleasant sensation. Instead of, oh, there's pain here. Oh no, there's pain here. Just, oh, there's interesting sensation. Allow it to be there. Allow it to be there, non-reactively. Inquire. Now, when we start with a sensation, it's helpful to inquire, what's the emotion that might be here? What's the emotion that might be driving this unpleasant sensation? And then you can go back to the R of rain, recognize that emotion, allow it to be there, inquiring where you feel that emotion in the body, a little loop there. Just allowing yourself to become more aware of any emotions that might be there driving this unpleasant sensation. And then nurture. Nurture with self-compassion. Oh, sweetie, I see how challenging this is right now, and I'm right here for you. And you're not alone. There's millions of people around the world feeling stressed out and having interesting sensations that are popping up to distract them too. You're not alone. Take a nice deep breath in for the practice of rain, and slowly exhale. And then just tune in more deeply into this pose. And notice the sensations that are here now showing themselves to you, and see if you can practice rain with these interesting sensations. Recognize them. Oh, there's an interesting sensation. It's just a sensation. Allow the sensation to be as it is. Inquire, get to know what it's like, the sensation, the energy of it, the depth of it, the breadth of it. And then nurture. Oh, sweetie, yeah, it's unpleasant to have these sensations right now, and I'm right here with you. And all of the other yoga students practicing right now are feeling something unpleasant too. You're not alone. Take a deep breath in, and slowly exhale, and gently rise. Good. And we're going to bring our knees close together, and I'll bring our hands onto the floor. And as we close, for those of you who need to end right at 10, we're going to be bringing the legs out in front, arms out in front. We'll tuck the chin and roll the back down for a closing half spinal twist. And if you can stay longer, I'll also lead you through a deep relaxation practice and a little closing song and some words to leave you with. But if you need to leave now, it's perfectly fine. It can just be helpful to close with this flowing twist. So bring the arms wide out to the sides, knees towards the chest. Inhale here, and exhale, knees to the right, head rolls heavy on the floor towards the left. Inhale, head to center, knees to the chest. And exhale, knees to the left, head rolls heavy on the floor towards the right. Yes. And continue. Inhaling, knees to chest. Exhaling, knees to the side. Nice and slow. So you can really feel the sensations as you move and as you breathe. Yes, that's it. Nurturing yourself with this slow, rhythmic movement. And after the next full round, you can pause. Coming back to center, and you can find some warm blanket or clothing to lay on your body if you can stay. If you need to be on with your day, thank you for coming to practice with me, and I wish you so much ease and compassion for yourself and others throughout your day today. Otherwise, you can relax onto the floor, laying down on the back, covering yourself up with warm clothing or blanket. And I'm going to come up to seated, but you can stay relaxed. I'd like to be able to face you and be present for you this way, a little bit closer as you move into your relaxation practice. So it helps to tense and release the major muscle groups of the body with 2 deep breaths. So inhale deeply, scrunch up the face, make fists with the hands, point the toes, lift the arms and legs slightly, squeeze out the tension. Good. And then inhale deeply, open the mouth, stick out the tongue, stretching the jaw, open the eyes, splay fingers, stretch toes, stretch, stretch, stretch. Good. And relax everything. And then you can begin to visualize or sense or feel a beautiful light surrounding the body in all directions. A beautiful, warm, nurturing light. Just see if there's any color to this light as you imagine it. Any quality to this loving light, this compassionate presence around you and within you. And bring the awareness to the light that rests near the soles of the feet and invite this light into the feet, feeling the ankles relax. The calves and shins are softened and soothed, and the light moves up into the knees, creating warmth and space there. Invite this light up into the upper legs and feel both legs growing heavy and warm. This light shines into the hips, pouring into the pelvic area, pouring into the reproductive organs, harmonizing, balancing them, shining into the digestive organs, cleansing and purifying them. Visualize a beautiful light in the belly. Feel the belly relaxing deeply. Deep, deep rest in the belly. This beautiful light shines into the chest. Visualize the chest healthy and radiant, bright with light. Visualize light through the lungs, health and vitality in the lungs that are breathing you so easily with such grace and ease. Just thanking the lungs for breathing you and for their health right now. Thank you, lungs. Thank you. This light shines into the chest and heart. Visualize the heart radiating the infinite glow of loving kindness in all directions, including towards your own dear self, particularly towards yourself. Visualize the loving light and the compassionate presence from your own dear heart shining itself all over you. Notice what that feels like, to feel this compassionate presence from your own dear heart shining itself, showering itself on you. Bring the awareness to the light that rests in the hands, bathing them in warmth, and invite this light into the hands, feeling the fingers and wrists relax. The forearms, the elbows, and the upper arms grow heavy and warm, and this light moves into the shoulders. Feel the shoulders relaxing deeply. Warm light moves into the neck, softening and soothing the neck muscles. And bring the awareness to the light that rests near the very base of the spine. And invite this light up the spine, vertebra by vertebra, part by part. Yes, and feel the entire back growing warm and relaxed and healed by this light. This light moves freely up the spine. It moves up into the neck, into the throat. The tongue softens, the lips are warmed, the cheekbones and jaw relax. The jaw is completely relaxed. Ears, nose, and eyes are all filled with the most beautiful light, and the eyelids grow heavy. The temples, the eyebrows, and the center of the forehead relax, and the entire face becomes expressionless. The sides of the head, the back of the head, and the crown of the head are all filled with light, and the entire body, the entire being is filled with and emanating the most beautiful, warm, healing light. Just be a witness to this healing light that's in you and around you and with you always. And just allow yourself to rest in the presence of this healing, compassionate light. Very gently invite the awareness back to the breath and begin to take a deep, rich breath in. Allow for a long, slow exhalation. And bring the awareness back home to the body, gently beginning to reawaken and re-inhabit the body, feeling free to move the body, maybe through fingertips, toes, eventually rolling all the way over onto the side, and just pausing there for a moment's rest, just curling up sweetly with yourself. And maybe as you curl up sweetly with yourself, just lovingly acknowledging yourself for carving out the space and time to practice today. Knowing that as we care for ourselves in this way, it truly does enable us to care for others with greater ease and capacity. So you can press the hands into the earth and come to a comfortable seated position. And in a few moments I'll share a little song with you, but before I do so, I just want to talk briefly about some stress responses. So we all know about the fight or flight response to stress, and it leads to a little bit more of an agitated state. It happens reactively when there's cortisol and adrenaline released into our systems when we get shocking news and feel like some of our freedom is going to be taken away. We react to that instinctively through the fight or flight stress response. And that response in our own homes could lead us to fight with each other a little bit more. We're going to be more on edge. We're going to be more irritated. Our kids are going to be feeling it. They will be more prone to getting annoyed with us and into power struggles. And also the flight will cause us to want to deny that anything's going on. So that's why we're seeing people, not being cautious, and they're going to want to flee from this and go into flight mode where, no, it's not a big deal. I can hang out with people. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to get this thing. Just turning a blind eye is part of the flight. But there's a whole other stress response that's not so often talked about, which is the tend and befriend response. And this tend and befriend response happens by a little release of oxytocin when cortisol is pumped into the system. So there's a stress reaction of cortisol, and then a little oxytocin is released. And that oxytocin causes us to feel like we want to connect with others. And if we do that, if we reach out and connect in this tend and befriend kind of a way, more oxytocin is released. And this oxytocin helps us feel calm and connected and relaxed. And the interesting thing is that estrogen enhances the effects of oxytocin. So many more women feel this a reward from connecting with other people. And testosterone inhibits the benefit of this oxytocin release. So that's why we find a lot of men benefiting more from going into their own cave and being a little more solitary. So some people with more estrogen right now are going to be having a harder time with social distancing, and people with more testosterone, whether they're male or female, females can have higher levels of testosterone than other females even. The females with higher testosterone, or any of us with higher testosterone levels, will feel more solitary right now and okay with that, not having such a hard time with that. So this practice of rain and self-compassion is a tend and befriend response that we can offer ourselves. So instead of reaching out to others, we're reaching inward to ourselves and offering this care to ourselves. And it's helpful and settling for our systems, and it will help us tend and befriend others as well. So in that spirit, I'd like to offer you these inspiring words by Richard Rohr. We cannot face large-scale crises as individuals. We cannot carry the pain of this reality on our own, nor can we only look out for our individual selves. The pain is communal, and so too must be our response. Again, we cannot face large-scale crises as individuals. We cannot carry the pain of this reality on our own, nor can we only look out for ourselves as individuals. The pain is communal. The pain is communal, and so too must be our response. So I offer this song as a way of tending to ourselves and all of the little children out there, the little children who are young, but also the adults who are carrying little vulnerable parts of themselves inside. So with that spirit of our common humanity, feel free to share the song to yourself and to the vulnerable parts of all people right now. We're all in this together. So I'll sing it first, and then feel free to sing it with me if you'd like. Oh, little one, oh, little one, I am here for you. Together. Oh, little one, oh, little one, I am here for you. And now I'll sing a high part here. I know you're hurting, I know you're scared, but you are safe. I am here for you. Together. I know you're hurting, I know you're scared, but you are safe. I am here for you. Together from the beginning. Oh, little one. Oh, little one. Oh, little one, I am here for you. Oh, little one, oh, little one, I am here for you. I know you're hurting, I know you're scared, but you are safe. But you are safe. I am here for you. are scared, it's okay to be scared, but you are safe. I am here for you. Let's keep repeating that. You are safe. I am here for you. You are safe. I am here for you. A little softer. You are safe. I am here for you. I love these words as we close by Katagiri Roshi. In the end, we are all just children walking through this strange land between birth and death. None of us knows much. The best we can do is to stay close and hold hands. So in the spirit of social distancing right now, the best we can do is to stay connected virtually and stay 6 feet apart and find ways to keep connecting and wash hands. Many blessings to you. Thank you for being with me this morning. It helps me to feel like I can give back in some way, and I appreciate you receiving this, so this offering goes somewhere. I see Nicole there, I see Jaylene there, I see Netta and Laurel and Leslie there, and Kieran. And I'll look through and see many of you others who commented or sent some love or just had presence with me. I really appreciate you.